Reviewing outstanding items on today's to-do list. Do you have any additional commands? No problem. I can add them shortly. I'm quite used to it. Accelerating.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Combat data updated. Please rest assured that I will not blow the roof off again. Preparing for dust-up.
Look! Look! They have really funny-looking hats! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkudlak and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovic amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now.
To the left is the Market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolyevsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible!
Truly appreciate the warmth of flames.
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. The prices here are crazy. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time. This way will take us to Podvorier restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way. Not a chance, Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry, you'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Zapoliarny Palace, which serves as the Tsaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters. The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions and over there is the Snezhnaya Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions. And over there. These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah.
The downtown area is near the center of Zapoliarny. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the... Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
No one practices alchemy in Snezhnaya, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh. We'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Anyway, that's about it. You guys go...
Sounds good. Thanks for all the recommendations. It'll be good to get out of the cold wind.
Podvorier restaurant is right this way.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, a million more a question sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. Paimon can't think of a few people. Right. And when we left Nogcry, so it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Sarit. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Gloop-off place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose. There's gotta be someone there, but it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in our lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in...
Hello. Is there a traveler and Paimon in there?
That's Alosha!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're, Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Faye as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human. Right? We're no different when it comes down to it. That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now... Okay, vital signs are good. Test results... I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over, but as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me. Hey, no big deal.
All right. Time to find Child and see what he can tell me.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting with the Harbinger. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's such a waste of time. Wait a moment. I'll pass on. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point waiting any longer. Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please, next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's her first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that she doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew. That was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one. All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and come to see this mystery guest for myself. Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a harbinger, I have to lead by example. On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch up there. Your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vecha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuja. It's basically all anyone cares about in Nevetcha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So by the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liues situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along, right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to... Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And, all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with... What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnaya Vecha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room. Having a voice in a Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting, but since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me? I just don't understand, that's all. And Anyway, do I really need a reason? Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Not Cry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart? Fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break?
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before, fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
I guess that's it then. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know, and honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Then let's go. You, if anything happens to Paimon.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Only in the grip of winter do people truly appreciate the warmth of flames.
They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave, now. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnaya. Well,
So this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
there are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is its location. Let's go. Every second counts.
Take this!
Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent.
Stay back!
Witness the snow swan's grace. Pas de deux. I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now.
Thank you. Come on, let's go.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when the trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place... There's... something
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run! Thanks. Let's get out of here.
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.
everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name. Don't think... Alright then. See you around... hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnaya. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Koraylievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa. On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way. All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnaya will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time, since it involves a mechanical malfunction. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget, then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Yup, nothing we can do about it.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that fuel for heating is. It just feels like there should be...
Hey, quit daydreaming. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real Big Shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you... Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Laidovka. How'd it go?
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuzha, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news.
Yeah, obviously if...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt.
Huh?
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuzha. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how...
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse her? What does she mean? Refuse to stand up for ordinary people.
Oh my gosh. How does she dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where she's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Svietlo-Laidovka's aid and even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Maybe you've heard already. Striking that monster as laser-focused as she is, to me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter... Thanks. I
still think this adventurer raises... Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vecha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind.
You can say that again.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned her name so far, and no details of her experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right. I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned traveler, who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where... There was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but... Death has a way of...
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long... Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll... Oh, by the way, where's Paimon?
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's
Oh, right. Sorry to hear. I felt so bad for her. I'm sure Paimon's You're a little short on manpower.
Well, that would be great.
Hey, don't mention it. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd...
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right to start with. I should go ask Aloysia. How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord. It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try channeling the power of Cryo?
Cryostorm!
It worked! There really is something special about this sword. I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven. There's still a long road ahead.
Encase! Cryostorm!
there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing. Give me a...
It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnaya doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what's the point in even calling it emergency relief? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Stratomeros will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Stratomeros' energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available. A lot of them will probably stockpile it. Exactly. At the current prices. Hey boss, how much?
1 second, let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and... No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides...
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take a look. Let's see... Huh?
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello?
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting, and when the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly in Svietlolaidovka. So, what brings you here?
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Svietlolaidovka. It bothered me, so I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I suppose that's why you're here. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front. Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it.
So much.
Yes.
Right, because things...
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so... Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. There may be...
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Will, I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your...
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal.
Funny. I had the same... The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Kresnik Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure. That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any idea?
What's wrong?
Her travel buddy hasn't been feeling well. She caught a cold.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietlolaidovka. Plus, I know a little bit about relieving cold symptoms.
All right then, let's go. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least...
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering in this room.
What happened?
Oh, please, excuse me. Are you the traveler? Ah, it's really you. At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye Restaurant's business. That would only seem all the more suspicious. Besides myself...
I didn't expect such a high standard of protection.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special... Anyway, I won't...
Traveler! Alosha, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically... Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be... It's just...
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that... a flame?
All keen observations. You're right. This is called Core Ignis. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed. You're welcome to borrow it.
Awesome! Your name was a...
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. Any progress with your investigation yet? No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. The Rokad, huh? Let me think. Members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have... enough with the secret chat, you two! Let's catch up properly. It'll be kinda like tabletop troop.
I've got some tick. It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to. Pleasure.
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Thank you.
Is that guy with the fatui? Looks like he's waiting for something.
Okay, hold.
What's up? Everything okay? Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense that security's tight. Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace guard here. You saw him, right? The guy right at the back. Strong, silent type. His name's Valeri. He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him here for one thing. To look for a guy named Mitya. Supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to. But that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. What do you think? Pretty impressive, huh? Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? What?
Look, there she is. That's who I'm in. This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Hey there.
Can you believe it?
Oh, it's you two.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner. Oh, I remember it so clearly.
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought her here to see the show. And when it... So, I thought I'd try my luck. See if we could get the chance to chat for a bit. Maybe get an autograph?
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules. It's not what the green room is there for.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a picture too if you want.
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you, and so do I. You did the right thing in Svetlolodovka.
We're good. Odette's out of earshot. I'll lock the door. Confidentiality, of course. The Rokot is very strict on...
Whoa, Alosha!
Relax. I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The President's reply sent this morning. Wait, so she's been approved to join?
You told me last night, but ever since you set foot in everything about you is I wrote a letter to the President explaining your situation. Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not.
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you came looking for me. So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance, was that just because of... Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us maintain a high level of independence and secrecy. Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints, so long as the outcome of any activity doesn't violate the organization's principles.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other. This way, if anything goes wrong, no one else will be implicated.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. We have plenty of members who have yet to take any action. In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any restrictions on your activity in Snezhnaya. There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity to go around doing evil, you'll be fine.
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times. Never made it all the way through. Even the most lackluster script makes for more interesting reading.
Great.
Well, Dagaran took quite a... Then, the
Just a coincidence, really. Like, by the way, what were you...
But he wouldn't, and then he started I mean, what did he expect? Everyone knows I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat, hoping he would
Yeah. Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you?
to the citizenry, but our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one thing to ask for a favor, but he acts like it's his right. He always expects special treatment. Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, now he's acting like not to mention that he's never paid for it. And another thing.
Calm down, Vodian. But first things first.